In this video, I'm going to review how to create an installer package for an Air application. Once again, these are steps that I described in the Essential Training video series, but are worth going over again for those who are jumping right into this video series. You can follow these steps with any Air application in FlexBuilder. I'll be using the Hello World application I created in the previous video. From the FlexBuilder menu, select File, Export, Release Build. In the Export Release Build dialog box, select a project and an application, and then indicate what Air file you're creating. I'll accept the default setting of helloworld.air. A file with the .air extension, again, is an installer package that can be used on either Windows, Mac, or in the future any other platform that supports the Adobe Integrated Runtime. Click Next, and now you'll need to select a digital certificate. As described in the Essential Training video series, the digital certificate is required to verify your identity to anybody who wants to install your application. If you don't already have a digital certificate that's from one of the authorized digital certificate vendors, Thought or VeriSign, you can create a self-signed certificate here. A self-signed certificate is only used during testing and development because when you install the application, it will report your identity as unknown. To create a new self-signed certificate, click the Create button, enter yours or your organization's name, I'll enter lynda.com, and then type in a password twice. Browse to select a location where you want to create the certificate file. I'll place it in my top-level exercises folder so I can use it in all of the exercises throughout this video series. And then give it a name. I'll call it My Certificate, and it will have a file extension of .p12. Click Save, and that will take you back to the digital certificate creation screen, and click OK to create the certificate file. Next, enter the password. You may find that the password is entered automatically for you, but if it isn't, just type it in. And you can check this option, Remember Password for this session, and that will cause the password to always be there whenever you use the certificate again during the current FlexBuilder session. Click Next, and on the following screen, you'll indicate which files should be packaged in the installer. You must include the application descriptor file, which in this application is called helloworldapp.xml, and the compiled application, helloworld.swif. Click Finish, and that should result in creating the helloworld.air file. Now, before you follow the next step to actually install your application on the desktop system, you'll need to make sure you've installed the Adobe Integrated Runtime. If you don't already have the runtime, you can download it from the Adobe website. On the Adobe homepage, there's a link labeled Get Adobe Air. Click that link, and you should go to a screen that's appropriate for your operating system, Windows or Mac. Once you've downloaded and installed the runtime, which I've already done previously, you're ready to install your application. Go back to the Flex Navigator view and locate the helloworld.air file that you just created. And then open the Air file, which you can do by double-clicking on either Mac or Windows. At the initial screen, notice that the publisher is reported as unknown. Once again, this is because you're using a self-signed digital certificate. If you had one from the certificate authorities, your actual organization name would be reported here. Click the Install button, verify your installation preferences, and the location of your application. On Windows, the installation location will be the Program Files folder under the C drive, and on Mac, it will be in the Applications folder. Click Continue to install the application. And then the application should open immediately on your system. Close the application, and then try opening the application again. If you're working on Windows, you can open the application from the Start menu. On Windows Vista, which I'm operating on, I'll type in Hello World, and I'll find the Hello World application there, and I'll be able to run the application immediately. If you're working on Windows XP, you'll find the application listed under All Programs on the Start menu, and if you're working on the Mac, you'll want to go to your Applications folder and double-click or simply run the Hello World application from there. To uninstall the application, you can either follow the standard operations on your operating system. For instance, on Windows Vista, you could go through the Remove Programs dialog, or on the Mac, you could simply drag the application into the trash, or you can double-click on the Air file to run it again. The Adobe Integrated Runtime will detect that the application is already installed, and it will give you the option to uninstall. And now the application is gone from my desktop, but I have the application installer ready to go anytime I need to install it again.